Hi, welcome to another UK Gravel Collective video. And on today's video, you're coming on a product test really. Recently on Instagram, I posted the results of a little poll I had, which was what stops you from gravel biking. And you may have seen in the shed update video, I did mention a bit about this. But the two overwhelmingly most popular answers were, apart from I can't afford a gravel bike, is that I don't want to wear Lycra. Everyone seems to be racing. It's all Lycra. And I don't want to be clipped in. I've never clipped in on any of my other bikes, etc, etc. Well, I thought about this because I do clip in when I'm on the gravel bike, and I don't clip in when I'm on a mountain bike. And as a lot of people are coming from mountain bikes, they don't want to clip in. So I thought, why not try and get some flat pedals on the gravel bike and see how it feels. Is it possible? Can you gravel bike with flat pedals? So this is the first ride on the flat pedals. Let's see what happens. Now, in the style of Guy Kesteven, who is a multi-year bike tester and goes around, if he's comparing products, he has them all on his bike at the same time. Well, I've got a Crank Brothers stamp pedal on that side, and a HT pedal on the other side. I know that looks weird. To have two different pedals on the same bike, but you know, anyone who knows and rides with me knows I usually look weird. So, what flat pedals are good for are delivery person style dismounts and remounts. However, this freedom also comes with a caveat when you're riding off-road, and that is, obviously, because you're not clipped into these pedals, you can slip off them. And an interface with your shin or your calf hurts a lot, and obviously you don't get that with clipless pedals because you're clipped in, so they've got that stability. What they don't have is, if you do unclip, or you take a really sharp corner and you have to get your foot out, then you go find your way back into the pedals. Where the clipping pedals, you can just put your foot straight back on. So anyway, you can see the state of this. It's really muddy. Gets a bit steeper down the other end, so what I'm going to try and do is put the chest mount on but point it down towards my feet, and you can see what I'm doing. So the basic technique is to get your heels down when you're going downhill, and then it helps your feet be stable on the pedals. Anyway, let's see if I can actually film my feet. God, that sounds like an OnlyFans show. Well, this isn't going to be at all stable. It's a bit of a stomach cam here. Anyway, let's see. Yeah, we've had well, I'll tell you what, these tyres are not good in this mud. I hope that worked. So I've just reviewed that footage, and it was pretty shocking. So now I'll put the chest cam on, because although you won't see my feet, the downhill might be worth it. If I can actually move in this clag. Ugh. the rear wheel is just spinning out on the flat. Oh, this is deep. Well, you know it's spring when the bike just stands up on its own. Oh, hear the sound of that grinding away at the expensive components. It's a good job that I'm going to change the bearings in the back wheel tomorrow, because after this they'll be just about dead. So, flat pedals, what are they all about? Well, obviously they're flat, but actually they're not flat, because a lot of them are concave. So this part in the middle is lower than the outside and where the pins are. This allows your foot to sit inside them. Some pedals, this part is the same height. Do not get those. Do not get those, because you need that concave part for your shoes to settle into them. These Crank Brothers ones, the Stamp 2s, are aluminium. They feel very smooth, and it's replaceable bearings and also replaceable pins. The cheaper pedals, you'll find that these are moulded into the either metal or the plastic, and eventually they'll wear down from your constant use, and then you go throw the pedals away because, you know, there's no grip. And then onto the HT pedals. These are composite, they're plastic, so they are a bit lighter than the Stamps. Again, they've got replaceable pins. Bearings nice and tight actually, because it just sort of shows the quality. I mean, if they spin really freely, most of the time it's because the bearings are shot. These are on the first ride, so obviously they're not. Again, this part of the pedal is lower than the outside, so your foot will sit in. And both pedals, I can't say, are really grippy. And the other thing is, when you've got clipless pedals, mud is a factor, because the mechanism, the wires, the springs can get clogged with mud, and also the bottom of your shoe where the cleat sits, that can get clogged with mud. So if you're on a technical trail, you've got muddy shoes and pedals, and you try and clip back in, it doesn't always work. Flat pedals, that's never going to clog. Look at the space for the mud to go through. Look at the space on the HT. You're never going to clog those. Now it's time for a snack. I'd like to point out to all my vegan riding friends that this is a vegan flapjack. Oh, no, joking. Really nice. Now, on the internet you'll see that there are a lot of comments with clipless pedals that you can pull up as well as push down on them because you're clipped in, and this gives you better power transfer. That's 100% true. But I'm not doing a time trial in the Tour de France or a mountain stage. It doesn't really matter that that slight percentage of extra power isn't put through the pedals. And in fact, you can use a technique, and if the pedals are really grippy and your shoes properly made with them, you can pull up, because that's what you do when you're bunny hopping or clean obstacles when you're on a mountain bike, and the same applies when you're pedaling if you want to. So if you read that and worry that you're going to be lacking power with people with clipless pedals, don't worry about it. Now we've also got to talk about shoes. Now yes, you can wear any shoes you like with flat pedals. You can wear hobnail boots, you can use riding boots, you can wear stiletto heels, you can wear football boots, you can wear trainers. You get the idea. You can use anything you want. You don't need to have a special shoe with a cleat fits in the bottom. No, you can do what you want. And that's what you can do in gravel. You can do what you want. However, a nice pair of shoes, oh, I can't get my foot up that high, so I'm going to show you on the ground. A nice pair of proper mountain bike shoes will have a soft tread on them. Now this grips those replaceable pins in the pedals, and it grips them really well, to the point of fact where if you get some proper shoes that are designed for flat pedals, you almost feel like you're clipped in, and you have to lift your foot to reposition it, which is something else you have to get used to. But you know, you can wear trainers if you want. If you're going long distance, I'd recommend you don't wear trainers. Trainers are designed for training, so they're quite soft, especially on the ball of the foot, and then that means that your foot ends up going around the pedal like that, and you'll get hot spots, and your feet like flat pedal shoes. They are a bit stiffer in that area, so you can push down and your foot will be supported, but it is an added expense that you have to take into consideration. But you know, if you want to wear Timberlands, go for it. So, you think you've got to clip in when you're riding the gravel bike? No, no, no. You can do what you want. And I hope that this little video has shown that they're just as versatile. I mean, I've done a 25-mile ride, my feet don't ache. I haven't really noticed. Well, I have noticed because I usually ride clips, so at times I've tried to twist my foot out of these, but I've got used to it, and it's certainly fun getting your foot out around the corners, jumping off the bike, but I don't think there's any loss of power, not for me anyway, not for us normal riders. So yeah, don't use clipless pedals as a barrier to get into gravel biking. Now there'll be a more in-depth review of the Crank Brothers stamp pedals and the HT pedals on ukgravelco.com. I'll put a link to that down below, a few more pictures talking about the bearings, what they're made of, etc, etc. Stuff that I can't go into depth with on video because you'll all be bored and turn off, and all my watch time hours will go down the toilet. So if you've liked these videos, if you like review videos, riding videos, please take the time to subscribe. 87% of people who watch the videos don't subscribe. It would really help the channel. if you took the time just to press that button and subscribe. Also, if you like the video, comments are great as well. Do you ride flat pedals or do you clip in? What's your barrier to riding a gravel bike? Apart from the cost of having a gravel bike, but you know, you could have a flat bar bike or a mountain bike with skinny tyres. To me, gravel encompasses the riding style, not the actual bikes. Just going and exploring on gravel, on tracks, on bridle paths, on cycle paths. It's what you used to call riding about on your bike. Anyway, thanks for watching. I'm sure you've all turned off by now, and hopefully I'll see you on the next one.